Hey everyone, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and I wanted to bring you a quick update, not only of our forecast, which we'll get to in a moment, but of the tropics, because they have been heating up and picking up over the last couple of weeks. And what we've been tracking here over the last 48 hours or so, if not more, has been Hurricane Beryl, and it has rapidly intensified. It is back up to a strong Category 4 hurricane, about 7 miles per hour shy of a Category 5 hurricane, and it has moved over the Windward Islands, where it made landfall a little earlier this morning at around 11:10 a.m. So you can see just that buzzsaw of a hurricane, that imagery we're seeing, our satellite imagery there, really shows us just how powerful this storm is. When we see that perfect circular eye there as it was making landfall, that can really just indicate just how organized and strong the storm was. So really hoping and praying everyone was safe there in the Windward Islands as it was making landfall and as it continues to bring just devastating impacts with storm surge, flooding, rainfall, and of course those winds. So as of about 1 o'clock, it does have winds of around 150 miles per hour. So just for reference, a Category 5 hurricane is 157 miles per hour. So generally speaking, most of the impacts are going to be roughly the same across these areas that it's working over. I will say, though, it's going to run into some wind shear, which does help to weaken any sort of tropical system, including hurricanes especially. So it is going to weaken into a Category 3 hurricane, likely sometime late tomorrow, early Wednesday morning. By Wednesday night, possibly Thursday morning, it will be working over closer to, say, Jamaica, the Southern Caribbean. And then by Friday and into Saturday, it will be back into the southwestern Gulf and track its way closer to Mexico. So you can see this is going to be a thing we're talking about all week long, and you'll likely see a lot of headlines involving Beryl. So that's where it's situated there. Next, we're going to talk about this big orange blob. This is where we have another area of potential tropical development, and this has a 60% chance of development. So it is on the medium side. It actually was lowered from 70% earlier today, and that really is because we're going to be watching very closely how the Beryl might have cooled the waters, and it might have affected parts of the atmosphere in terms of helping a tropical system or even a tropical storm get going. So as of right now, still a 60% chance. We'll be watching it. Next name on the list would be Debbie. That will be our fourth named storm. We had Tropical Depression Chris. That is now a remnant storm, and it's working its way through Mexico as we speak as well. It has weakened quite a bit. But this is going to be probably the next best shot of us seeing another named system. But again, depending on how Beryl has affected the environment and, of course, the ocean waters in the area it just trekked over, that could play some big impact, or could bring us some big impacts as far as the storm and the organization and the formation of it goes, if one is able to get going. But again, next name on the list would be Debbie. And then we also have two waves off the western coast of Africa that we're keeping a close eye on. And when we talk about tropical waves, we mean these are kind of the clusters of showers and storms we watch, because these could become more organized into an area of low pressure, which would eventually become a tropical depression, tropical storm, or even a hurricane. So this is how it all begins. This is why we watch the western coast of Africa really closely. So we have two waves there we're watching. And in terms of our storm names, we had Tropical Storm Alberto, we've had Hurricane Beryl, and we've also had a tropical depression, which was a tropical storm Chris, eventually at one point for a brief period of time. So next on the list would be Debbie, followed by Ernesto and Francine. So we're quickly making our way through the list here, and I really think we're going to make it through the list before the year is all said and done with. Here's a live view, though, of Daytona Beach and of Volusia County, a gorgeous view of the beach there. Lots of folks out there taking advantage of the sunshine, which we'll see a good amount of dry time today, but boy, are we heating up fast. 87 degrees, that warm southeasterly breeze is going to be helping to keep us hot and muggy for today. And that will lead to a couple of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, but these are going to likely arrive a little behind schedule, a little later than normal, and likely we'll expect those to arrive by, say, 9-10 o'clock. So as you're heading to bed, if you see the lightning maybe outside your window, or if you hear the thunder, it will be because of these showers and storms kind of lingering in and around the area. I do think the majority of these will be staying west of Orlando and also west of I-4, but we could expect some of these to even graze parts of the Orlando metro and especially Orange County. So as we get closer to the overnight, say about 3-4 a.m., so we'll be starting off our Tuesday morning on a dry note. Today will be very hot, muggy, yet again, 94 degrees in Orlando and Claremont, 92, so low 90s expected along the beaches today. Not everyone will see the rain, but those who do could expect that good soaking downpour. And since we are going to be likely just so sunshiny and we're going to be very dry for the most part, majority of the day, we have a heat index of around 105 to 106 expected across much of the area. So just make sure you're drinking lots of water and make sure you're taking frequent breaks in the air conditioning if possible, just because it is going to be one of those very hot, humid days that we see here in Central Florida. So looking at the next 7 days, big takeaway will be the hot temperatures, mid 90s, so a couple of degrees above average, followed by daily rounds of showers and storms. So not going to be total, complete washout every single day, but kind of the trend we've been seeing over the last week or so, just multiple rounds of showers and storms that could impact your day. So just a good idea to make sure you have the rain gear nearby because we could expect some heavy downpours even on the 4th of July. Right now it's a 50% chance of rain, still expecting a good amount of dry time, but those who see the rain could expect some very heavy downpours and then also some frequent lightning and thunder. So just make sure if you have outdoor plans for the 4th of July, like so many people do, just make sure you have a backup plan indoors, a shelter nearby in case there is lightning or a thunderstorm, heavy rain in your area. That is a check of your tropics and a check of the forecast. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Take care.